This is gonna be tough. I've trained my body to do things that people like me shouldn't be able to do. But unfortunately for me, flying ain't one of them.
Don't follow me!
Biologist and archaeologist who we feel is going to be an undeniable asset here at Projexus. Won't you please join me in welcoming her to our team? Dr. Sally Rodell.
Adopt or die.
Secure the area until Alpha Corps can arrive.
Solari! Save us! It is the truest law of the earth. Very few things have the ability to survive the test of time. Though we may not be around to see them to their fullest fruition, what we struggle to create now will be the triumphant echoes from the past.
Alpha Corps will be here in 5 minutes. Hold the line.
5 minutes? Thanks for the heads up. I was here. I lived. I am still here. I'm on you. Sweet dreams, children. It is that struggle that is the affliction of creation. I would like to thank Mr. Eusebio for allowing me the opportunity to discover and create alongside my esteemed colleagues at Projexus. Thank you.
An archaeologist? It's a bit archaic, isn't it?
She's well studied, Jerry, but if you want to question her credentials, be my guest.
That's not what I was saying. It's just an unusual area of expertise to pair with biology.
Well, Dr. Rodell, from my understanding, is an unusual woman. Don't be threatened, Jerry. She's on our side. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Photo?
You took that like a chomp.
Were you trying to knock me out?
No, it was meant to be a death blow.
Yara, stand down.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Rip und the Silverback. I'm the Silverback. That's Rip over there. How you doing, Eric?
I'm doing good, man. Can't complain, man. How you doing?
Well, I'm very happy that you asked. You see, my back is now I'm good. I'm really good.
Good.
My new bathroom is finished, apart from a little bit of ceiling that needs to be done. But that's it. This time tomorrow, I'll be able to get into my new shower, scrub me gussets. It'd be great. But there's been a lot happening in the last 48 hours or so.
Yeah, lots going on in entertainment right now. Interesting things coming out. I know you and your favorite show, Doctor Who, was a thing, and interested to see how they're going to max that as a success.
Well, they didn't watch it, Eric, because there was nice weather.
So I hear that the weather had something to do with why
the
viewership is down a little bit. Somehow.
And they didn't, and it also, there was a really gay musical competition called Eurovision that was on after the 2 episodes, so they're like, no, you see, they saved all their gay for that. And that's why they didn't watch the show, because they're outside touching the grass. Because that's what Shooty Gatwa told people to do.
That is true. So yeah, that we saw between Rings of Power as well as House of the Dragon. Is that a troll job, you think, from HBO to drop that on the same day?
No, it's planned.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could. I mean, that was a legit trailer. That was a minute longer than a Rings of Power trailer. It was a well put together trailer. I ain't even seen the show, and I'm like, I kind of want to see the show now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had their finger on the button. They were just like, when's the Rings of Power dropping? When's it dropping? Is it? Oh, there it is. Got him.
That was for sure on purpose. No way around that. That's what I was thinking. So yeah, between that, crazy things going on with gaming. I know big conversations happening right now with Assassin's Creed. Just saw all sorts of things going on since the last time we chat. But yeah, it looks like we're gonna have a good show today.
Let's do a little bit of shilling to start with, because there is not long. There is 10 days left, and that is it. 10 days until the Yaira campaign finishes. That's all, and it's on the verge of 1.4 million.
Yes, right around the corner is 1.4 million, man. Man, I'm excited. We're gonna start getting these books out to you guys very soon. We do have a couple of surprises still up our sleeves. We had a couple of things that have happened over the last week since we've last done a thing. It's kind of crazy to think that all this happened since Friday. But my band dropped our album, not quite, but an anthem.
Yeah,
that is for the Rippaverse. That has almost 600,000 views, by the way.
Great tune. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I'm glad you dig it.
I'm just glad that you had the foresight 2 years ago to write a song about what was happening right now with you.
Yeah, just kind of crazy how somehow I guess it's time travel. I get accused of a lot of things that because I was 33, the Freemasonry thing. So I guess maybe that comes with time travel, perhaps. Access to
everyone knows you're Illuminati, not me.
Yeah, apparently, or maybe I don't know. Gatwa has something to do with that. Doctor Who somehow was able to retroactively write a song 2 years ago that had everything to do with Ice on Reviews or something.
Yeah,
but because of reasons. But yeah, so that's popping off. Over 600,000 views over on YouTube. And also we announced yesterday that we are doing a Yaira animation, a little short one that we're going to do really to, give you guys some insight as well. There's going to be a lot of cool things happening with our website we've discussed. And I think housing our live action and animated stuff for Rippaverse Studios, I think a lot of that's going to be housed through our memberships and housed on our website. So that'll be a way to continue to add that value and really show you guys what we can do when we have a little time to or investment into that part of our company. So thanks for the support, everybody out there. And if you have not, you still got 10 days to get in on Yaira number one. It's a really, really exciting time. Can't wait to get the books in your hands.
Yeah, I love that Alpha Core animation. That was insane. I really like the Yaira one, to be honest with you. Because look, all of the animation, the live action. This is just me, chat. This isn't blowing any smoke up nobody, because this is just as a customer, because that's what I am as a customer. As a customer, this is free for me.
Yeah, true.
And we see mini trailers for campaign, crowdfunding campaigns. Great stuff. To see something go a little bit above and beyond that, because you got the resources, maybe because you got the access to that. But getting that animation for Alpha Core was like bueno, and then changing up with live action for Yaira, bueno. I would like to see both.
Yeah, absolutely.
Both? But you're
gonna get both. No, you're gonna get both. I mean, both are crazy. Like we want to invest in both. Let's be honest. And I'm glad you bring up that point. Because, that's what it's about. My ambitions and the things that I want to do with this company go well beyond just having it contained to drop in a book every now and then. This is very much a comic book company, and we want to do things that, not only expand on our world, but having things show up in other sorts of media as well that are adaptations, and we want to use that as kind of a vehicle to draw people also towards our books, right? So maybe much like with what's happening with the Japanese right now, where anime explodes, but also the manga explodes because it's selling the anime and vice versa. That's what we want to do with our live action as well as our animated stuff. So yeah, we want to invest in both. We want to continue to do that. And yeah, I guess this is my way of also showing people how serious that I'm taking this, right? I had, of course, the opportunity that I know a lot of other people would have probably went a different route. And that if they had access to the money that we have access to, would have blown it on, I don't know, casinos and Lamborghinis and or it got a little lazy. We've seen this happen. It's not anything that's unique to entertainment. I've seen people I grew up with, never really had money, come across a lot of it and be a little foolish with it instead of taking advantage of the opportunity that's presented to them. And I think for us, the best way to show people that we are really taking this serious. It's not just some little pet project. This is not just some vanity project. This is not just something that I'm doing just to do. This is something that we're taking very serious, and I want it to last for many years to come. That part of it and expanding on it as far as our Riververse Studios is concerned is going to be very, very important. Very important.
Yeah, it's a statement of intent.
Yeah.
You had 2 Isom books out. They sold exceedingly well. And then the first time you do an animation, the first time you do something like above and beyond, it's on Alpha Core. It's on your first non-Isom book. Then the Ira campaign comes out. Boom, you got a live action. So we've had an anime and an animated and a live action on non-Isom.
Yeah, on non-Isom
stuff at the moment. So yeah, that's great. Look, I mean, hey, if you've got the money, if you want to buy yourself a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, you do you. Sure. You do you. But it's clear to me that Rippaverse wants to be a bit of a big hitter. You're trying things. And I like it. I think as a customer, it's exciting to see that shit. So
look, that's what it's about, dude. Like that's exactly why I do what I do. A lot of it has to do with look, I understand that, at least from my perspective, as we talk about this on the show every week, the companies that we've invested a lot of money have seemed to turn their backs on us in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to be a part of kind of the solution, kind of filling that void. And in order to do that, there has to be, look, people doing it like as a hobby where they're like, hey, I'm doing it every now and then. I'm not knocking anybody that's doing that. I think that's a cool thing, definitely for people that are wanting to dip their toes into things that they're maybe unfamiliar with. I'm all for that. Give it a shot. Why not? But I do think in order for this to be taken seriously as an alternative action, you have to show it. I can tell you all day long about the ideas that I have in my head, but at the end of the day, I have to do the work. The company has to do the work, and we have to show you what we're doing. And through investing in other ways to expand this company, like what we're doing with Riververse Studios, like what we're doing with our memberships, website redesign, speeding up our little calendar that we have here. We have Gooding dropping in June, right next month. That's right after this man. Yeah, I said that much. June is what we're pushing for. June is what we're pushing for Gooding. Right after Gooding, we have Horseman, right? Like these are back-to-back projects, and I'm trying to speed it up. And that's the benefit of having multiple teams working on different projects, right? So Cliff and I are working on ISOM. I'm like 127 pages on on ISOM 3. You have Deborah and the Saskas doing Yaira. You have Will and Mike Barron that are doing their project and Gooding, the Gooding project, and they have it's another one that Mike Barron has worked on as well. But then you also have this great tandem of Joe Bennett and Chuck Dixon. They've given you Horseman. They've given you Alpha Core already. There's another unannounced project that has started art on. Joe is working on right now. So
it's just you and me, mate. Tell us.
Another unannounced project, and we just saw another guy that's here in Drunk 3PO with what we're even trying to do with Ripper Send. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that whole aspect that's really, really about to start kicking off. So yeah, there's no I could talk, and I think there's enough talking out there that's being done. There's a whole lot of yin yang, as my man Jay would also say, that's happening. Just chatter and not enough action, for sure. And I want to just show you. I can show you better than I can tell you. I guess is the ultimate thing I'm trying to say.
I mean, there's no denying that the first, ISO 1, ISO 2, the sales that did has just opened up so many different options for you.
Absolutely.
But it's great to see, that you've decided to run with them. Again, from a customer perspective, it's fucking exciting times, mate. So yeah, get that Ripper send out, because we want to get some real BBC merch.
We gotta get the merchandise. We gotta get everybody set. Ripper send, where I plan to have that full swing, a new website as well. What you saw what the guys have seen now, where people are able to enter in sort of there or send those inquiries. We can. It's going to be a complete redesign. Ripperverse.com is getting redesigned. Ripper Sand is going to have its official design, which is not what it looks like right now, where you'll see the store, you'll see the creators that are going to be a part of this project, as well as the store. There's a lot of avenues that are going to be explored with this, and I'm just so excited, man. So excited.
Okay, no, I get that. I get it. So I was reading a bit of interesting news I've just received.
There you go.
And because chat, the shilling can't end there. He's got to flock his way. I got to flock mine.
Yeah, you got to. Man.
We got a little bit of real BBC Plushy going on, and it's only got just under 3 days left. We're just under 3 days left, and that's it. That's it. We've had an extension of 7 days. When this is done, it is done. I think the link is in the description box down below, and the link to Yaira is pinned in the comments section. So if you do have a couple of shekels free, and you'd like either a me or a Morley, the Morley one's great. That's I have to click down here to get to the Morley one. Here we go. Boom, here we go. Here's the real BBC crew. Got the Morley, we got the me, we got the X-ray girl. Who's ahead of Gary? Bringing up the rear, Gary, with his Gary of Rivia. So yeah, just under 3 days to go, and then they are gone for good.
Get 'em.
So yeah, link is in the description box down below. But thank you, appreciate you, chat. Been a quiet, like I said, it's been a quiet couple of days, mate.
Yeah,
quiet couple of days going on. What to start with? You've got, nobody ever thought Doctor Who was going to be good anymore. We saw, we'd completely and utterly seen from the interviews with the cast members, interview with Russell T Davies. The guy's lost his fucking mind. He's just, it's just now entrenched. When you're in echo chamber for so long, you're just getting entrenched, and that's where he is. And so, before the series had even come out, they were telling, yes, it's Nurse Watt. We know it's Nurse Watt, because Doctor Who, Nurse Watt. That's what it is. Shout out Morley. Even before it came out, we had the old "you bunch of bigots, you bunch of racists." If you don't watch it, because lots of diverse people are going to take your place and tune in. Nobody watched it. Nobody. 2.6 million overnights in the UK. 2.4 million because it had back-to-back episodes. So they lost 200,000 people from the first one to the second one. It's the BBC. There's no fucking adverts. It's like, show ends. This is coming later on the BBC. It's midwives.
For the people that may not know, what was the supposed explanation that they tried to give with the weather? Like, make us understand that. Like, as far as why
the sun was out. The sun was out, so people didn't watch Doctor Who because they were outside going,
what is this thing in the sky?
Make warm. Make white skin warm. That's why. But Shooty Gatwa told people to turn off your TV and go touch grass. So I guess they listened to him.
True, he did say that.
Yeah, that was one of the reasons that they gave. The other reason was because it was also Eurovision, which was on the BBC. And because Eurovision was on, they also decided for some reason, even though that doesn't make sense because it would be a boost because so many people watch Eurovision, then surely it would be a boost to your potential show coming before then. But the sun, that was, the weather. Oh, it's nice weather. I hope it rains next week. I hope it rains this Saturday. And it does like 1.9. And it would be like, what's that? Well, you see, it's raining and people wanted to go outside for a shower.
Yeah, man. Bills, electricity, water bills as well. It's just reasons. I don't know.
They were putting buckets outside, catching it.
Old school. Old school. Yeah, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. This is what I think. I can't remember if you guys on yesterday's show talked anything about even some of the ratings that came out with X-Men 97, right?
We didn't. No.
Okay. So apparently that's not going to save Disney Plus. Shocking. But I do think that there is a industry-wide problem right now about not being able to get enthusiasm, like in general. I do think Doctor Who is probably will set themselves up for failure, make no mistake. But even in the instances where you can't generally explain, right? Like you look at not even TV with film, and you look at what happened with Fall Guy, right? You have so many people similar to what some are saying with X-Men 97. Oh man, it's solid. It's one of the better things that have come out, but it's not making money, or people aren't going to see it, or at least paying to go see it. So what difference does it make? Or what does it matter? It doesn't really at the end of the day. Yeah, they have to rein in their budgets. That's also part of the issues with a lot of the film stuff.
Yeah.
Disney Plus is a money pit right now. Everything that goes there to die. That's just the reality. But I do think it is an industry-wide issue that the enthusiasm's not really there. And I think really this is going to be the way of the future, that everything that is sort of these, monumental, massive successes, just blockbuster hits where you're talking tens of millions of people are going to see it. Those are going to be even more outliers than they have been in the past, if they even happen at all. And I think the way of the future is that you're going to see more contained successes, which to me, I don't mind that. I'm okay with that, especially with having a company like I do. There's no issues that I have in that. Maybe the success is going to be a little more contained to, let's say, smaller entities, but they got to figure it out, because their model right now is not based on them losing money, right? Like, well, I guess technically it is, but you get what I'm saying. Like, it's not meant to be. That's not supposed to happen, right? Like, they're not going into it with the intention. Though it does seem like it. I don't understand chat's like, well, it's hard to tell. Yeah, I get it. It doesn't seem like they're trying to make money, but they are, right? And either way, but even when I get it, but even when they do something that, and I think that's worth paying attention to, when they do something that folks even find maybe favorable, it's still not making money.
The Fall Guy is a really fun film, I thought. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I laughed a lot. I thought it was charming, stupid, goofy, silly, funny, romantic. It had lots of, and it was all the negative things I said was in a good way. Goofy in a good way, silly in a good way. But you can't have a rom-com cost $130 million.
Got to rein in the budget.
You can't have that. You're not giving yourself a chance. And on top of that, the problem is Hollywood itself has taught us not to go to the cinema anymore.
Big condition, right?
Yeah, they've talked us out of it. Number one, with streaming services, which are doing shit as well. Number two, with shit films.
That's a part of it, yeah.
And when you've just put consistently shit films out, like the crap we've had from Marvel and Disney for the last, 7 years now or so. Let's say 5 years. Why would you want to go to the cinema anymore?
Good point.
There's no, everything's a sequel, a reboot, a remake,
and not very good ones.
There's nothing original. So why go to the cinema? Oh God, we're seeing fucking Alien 1.5. Oh, we're seeing the next reboot of the reboot that was rebooted.
The next live action Lion King.
Yeah,
and
we're gonna see a fucking prequel, which people hate, by the way. Now, absolutely fucking despise prequels. We're gonna see a prequel to a lion.
Yeah.
You know, there was nothing for audiences to remotely get interested in. There's no originality with the films. There's no good writing because they're not allowed to write good because they have to write to a very specific thing. Can't be sexist, can't be fat phobic, can't be racist, can't be this, can't be that. We can't have any of that. So everything's so sanitized. Everything smells like bleach. There's nothing fun for an audience to go watch. So you do something kind of generic, like Reacher, for example. Let's just use Reacher. Pretty generic stuff. It's not
reinventing the wheel by any means.
No. And people are like, something that feels a little bit normal.
Well, it is reinventing the wheel, if anything, yeah. To put it more
so you get a decent bit of success like that, but you got, for every bit like that, it's like you can't stay at home and watch this shit, and you can't go out to the cinema and watch this shit. It's like, what do I do? Well, you do what the industry dictates. You're playing video games instead.
Yeah, people are finding different forms of entertainment. I do believe that's also a part of it. And yeah, I mean, look, it doesn't take really long for a generation to be conditioned into doing something. And I think this is what they didn't understand or consider with the whole COVID thing, because really maybe you can argue that it accelerated the inevitable. That's the argument that I would make for sure. But also they kind of banked so much into like streaming services and other things, but the economics weren't caught up, right? So what they tried to do, if this makes sense for everybody out there, what they tried to do, so you had like the 2020, all that craziness that was going on, people getting shut down, production models were fundamentally, I don't even want to say that they were changing, but they were for a period of time, but the economics of it all weren't changing. If anything, they were going in the wrong direction because they were spending more. They were spending more money for these films. So without going through that change, that back end change, they were trying to change on the front end. So you had an audience of people that were conditioning to go stay at home, be accustomed to getting things fast, quick on various platforms in their own homes. So you were kind of conditioning them to get used to it, and a lot of them, of course, did. And you were also spending a crazy amount of money, and you didn't think it through with streaming services in general about how much you were spending versus how much you were going to get a return. See, this is what I always discuss with when I get advice. I mean, we've had a couple of consultations and stuff as well. People reaching out to us about like repercent, and one of the things that I for sure want to highlight for people that are looking at it from the perspective of money, it's not simply about making something that is just generally solid that people are going to view as good, because that's not good enough. What you have to convince them to do is it good enough, or is it appealing enough, I guess is the more proper term, for them to then reach in their pocket and spend money on it, right? That's what they haven't been able to figure out. So even if X-Men 97 is, it's solid, like people like it. Some have said it's the best thing that's on Disney Plus. How much has Disney Plus lost in the last year?
Well, they're currently fudging the numbers so that they can say, we turned over a profit this month. Oh, by the way, the next time we disclose the numbers, it's going to be another horrendous loss. Because that's actually what they've said. Yeah. That is actually what they've said. They've moved the money again, probably from the movie side, because they've been now releasing much more inflated budgets for their product. Doctor Strange in Multiverse of Madness, over 400 million.
Infinity War was $600 million. What the fuck? When I saw that, I was like, bro, between those two movies, guys, between Infinity War and Endgame, they spent $1.2 billion. That's insane. That is insane. So are we even sure those movies, I know they made $1 billion on them. Are we even sure they made money though like that? On even those films?
What Infinity War was it $2 billion?
So that would have had to have made money, but not nearly as much as what we initially thought.
I know Endgame did about 2.4, didn't it? Infinity War did, do 2 billion.
2 billion.
So it probably made about 200 million profit.
Nothing like we would have thought. Nothing like what we would have thought. They have spent so much money on these films, bro.
And Doctor Strange did not make money.
No way. We used to talk about it as if it may have made a little bit. No, it didn't. With those numbers coming out of the UK, no fucking way that film made any money. No way. No way, no how. I don't know what to tell them. Well, I do know what to tell them. They got to figure this shit out. Can they figure it out? I am not sure. See, this is the best case scenario, in my opinion. Maybe people disagree. Maybe the ass disagrees. I think the best case scenario for entertainment industries is that these sort of mega conglomerate, multinational, like massive corporate entities, they have all these properties up under them. They're going to have to find a way to effectively disperse of that, have those entities start making films and shows and etc. off of those brands independently, and using that term very loosely, not necessarily attached to some mega corporate entity, because I just do not envision a world where these guys are going to be able to make a lot of money, not at their current state, because they're spending too much and they're putting the money into things that are not getting a return. That's a recipe for fucking disaster. So you're overspending and there's no way out. Like, what way out does Disney have right now? If they continue right now, what way out? Even if, okay, we got what's the next movie about to come out with fucking Wolverine and shit, Deadpool movie, okay?
Deadpool and Wolverine.
No idea what the budget on that is. I'm not sure. But let's say if people are like, "Oh, I like it," and it made $800 million. So what? What does that mean? Seriously, like, what would that mean for the industry?
Well, it won't have a knock-on effect to the next film. It won't do that.
Exactly.
You know, we saw Guardians of the Galaxy had the very poor opening weekend, but then it word of mouth spread, and so that actually did a lot for that film. That ended up with, well, I think the lowest of the Guardians movies, but it probably might have broke even, maybe made a little bit. I don't know. But that did progressively better because of the word of mouth.
Yes.
Then the Marvels come out, zoof, gone, dead.
Out of there.
It had no knock-on effect. So people could be, if people are going to turn out for Deadpool and Wolverine, they're turning out for Deadpool and Wolverine. It doesn't mean that they're going to then now turn out for Captain Black Falcon, man, America.
Oh, we know they ain't coming out for that. And again, you want to talk about spending? How many reshoots are they doing of that fucking thing?
Oh, they're reshooting the film now.
Yeah, so
they're not doing reshoot. They're refilming the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
So this has got to be inflated 350 now.
Yeah, it's like you basically made a second movie.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah. So that's a problem. That's a problem, which again, it's a problem in more ways than one, which is, I'm not trying to be a doomer for the industry. I'm just saying that, guys, maybe we have to consider that in the future, it's going to look a lot different. Maybe it just is. This is the point that I've made on my show. I can't remember if it was this past week or the week before, that maybe it's just not going to look the same anymore. Maybe the $1 billion film, like, I know you got Oppenheimer, you got Barbie. Maybe those are the last ones. Maybe that doesn't mean there won't be successes. It just won't look the same. It's going to look a lot different. Like, what we consider success and what is a successful film is going to have to be primarily determined, which it should have always been, not only just by the people that are viewing, but how much money they spent in it, how much they're getting in a return. And it's going to have to be looked at like that in isolation. I welcome that. Now, granted, maybe some people are going to be out of a job in the future because they're still operating like they're multi-billion-dollar entities that are bringing in billion-dollar film or pumping out billion-dollar film after billion-dollar film. They're not doing that. So they're going to change. I mean, hell, they've already been changing. We've seen it change really across, again, not to be a doomer. We've seen it change all across all industries. Gaming ain't safe either.
Oh, the East are breaking away now. They've had enough of this shit.
We see what Square's fucking doing.
Done. Fuck up. Sold off Europe. Fired Europe. Fired America. Out.
Getting back to
Fuck
the roots,
off. Yeah.
Which is the smartest thing for them to do.
Yeah.
Smartest thing for them to do. But that signifies a change. We see what's happening with Xbox and their studios. I think we talked about it a little bit on last week's show. So gaming ain't safe either, right? Like because
it's been destroyed by fucking ideologues. Oh,
well, yeah.
Xbox hired their first black woman of color to take over Xbox Live. Hi, I fucked it all up. DIE, diversity. You know, you're not helping her.
Yeah.
You're not helping her because you basically say she fucked up because of the color of the skin because we pushed the DEI because you got to make it everything race and gender and fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
And streaming now, we know that a lot of streaming models are looking to bringing in advertising to you. Netflix are, Prime are. And what you have to do when you do a paid advertising, what do you have to do? You have to disclose the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're doing that and you have to disclose the numbers, advertisers, they're not sticking around if nobody's fucking watching your crap.
Right. They're not going to be paying for that. What's the point?
So what's that going to do now? People are going to be like, well, we got to actually make a good show. We've got to make a good show that people tune in and watch so that the advertisers get what they want. They get their demographics or do they do what people do? You know, do they start playing loosey-goosey with the numbers, which you're not meant to do, but you're not meant to play loosey-goosey with the numbers to shareholders. And we see that all the fucking time with Disney.
It's a good point. It's a fantastic
So what happens
point.
there?
And this is why I'm like, bros, it may look different. It may even change into something. Entertainment in general may change into something that nobody, and I guess that's kind of how markets work, right? They naturally start to form into something that maybe nobody could like explicitly predict. Like you can't say for sure without a doubt it's going to look like this, but it will look different. Because what we have right now isn't sustainable. And it's not just that we're saying that it's not sustainable just to be saying it. They're showing you that it's not sustainable through their actions, through their adjustments. And they're adjusting different ways. People are getting fired. People are getting laid off. Studios are getting closed down. People are trying to figure out, hey, do I got to merge this or am I going to have to do this because this by itself isn't making money? Maybe this needs to break away from that. They're trying to figure out. Everybody is, to be fair. I can speak from experience with the Rippaverse. There's always a constant like sort of market analysis, if you will. Which this is why I've always said, and we did this with Backwards. So a lot of people wonder, like, damn, how does Backwards have these? Despite them not being like sexy, right? Despite them not being doing things, let's say the traditional way, and being kind of like, I don't want to say artificially, I guess you can call it artificial, but the music industry is the music industry. It's a pay for play kind of. Everybody knows that, right? That's just how it's always been. How we've been able to exist and see success without having to go that route. And the reason being is because I've always said that I wanted an audience that rocked with us for us. And yes, I do understand that may mean it's not as sexy. That may mean that we're not like seen as this massive entity, or we're not going to have that rocket of a growth, or some can make an argument that we did have that. It's not like I go from being Rippaverse to the size of a Marvel tomorrow. It's not something that's going to happen. However, if the company has folks that rock with us for us, yeah, it may be smaller. Yeah, it may be a little more contained, but it's successful. It's able to sustain itself. It's able to exist. It's able to be profitable, so it could grow. And maybe that growth is going to be a lot more slow and controlled.
Look at Blumhouse.
That's how it happened. It's a great example, right? A little more slow and control, a little more niche. Some will make the argument.
Very low budget.
Very low budget, which means very profitable.
Exactly.
And I think that's going to have to be the way of the future for really all entertainment industries. I know we speak about what's unique for us, and I know we even started the conversation talking about what's going on in entertainment, like from the film and movies. But like we said, gaming's dealing with a similar kind of, though that is the industry now. It's dealing with the similar sort of problem where it's like definitely with AAA titles, they're having to figure. We're finding out these studio how much money these guys are losing on some of these deals, and it's insane. Like what happened when those numbers came out with Warner, how much they lost? What is it, $200 million that they lost on Suicide Squad?
On Suicide Squad, 200 million.
Do you know how much fucking money that is?
That's 200 million.
I think maybe because we throw these numbers out there, a lot of now people don't understand how much fucking money that is.
Give me 1 million, I'll be a very happy man. Give me 200 million. All I'm saying is I'll probably be dead in a week, but it'll be a good week. It'll be a really good fucking week.
It's a lot of money, okay? And look, we need to be prepared for that. How we consume media has fundamentally changed. I'm okay with that. Are they okay with that is going to be the question. Because look, if you built, even if it took you decades, right? Technology has a way of doing that. You can build something up for decades. New technology comes in, it changes, and it just breaks up everything. It's just like whatever you were doing just became archaic overnight. And maybe that's some of what we're seeing with the entertainment industries. Maybe it's just everybody's not really prepared. Maybe we are kind of clinging on to this old idea of how things used to work and how they were working, and maybe that's just not how it's going to work in the future. And instead of looking at it through the lens of like, well, yeah, these guys are trying to bounce back, which I think a lot of people thought was going to happen with X-Men 97, and they're seeing like, well, there is no bounce back. Disney Plus, from all accounts, from the actual data that's available to us, I don't think it's ever turned a profit, like ever.
No, God, no. God, no.
No, it's never turned a profit. So everything that goes there, even if you like it, audience, even if you're like, yeah, it was pretty good, doesn't matter. They're losing money. $250 million. What was it? Something that they lost at one quarter? It was 1 quarter that they lost something just crazy.
Yeah, they lost $250 million.
Yeah, like it was some crazy number of money that they had lost. It's a money pit. You're basically throwing it in a pit and lighting it on fire when it lands on that streaming platform. And a lot of it's smoke and mirrors, man. Like a lot of it's, I mean, we learned this about Warner. Like you really start to look at the Warner. You see how much debt that company has. Like what fucking money?
Detatron.
Yeah, it is a debt. Yeah, why don't we link up with Paramount? Wait a minute, Paramount's also in debt.
Yeah,
you guys ain't got no money like that. Yeah,
broke.
None of them have money.
Bring in Disney Plus.
Fuck it, like
bring in fucking Hulu. Bring it all in. Bring it all in. We're going to combine to become the world's biggest fucking debt monster. And yet we're still able to purchase and purchase and purchase and purchase.
Something about that ain't right.
Oh, hi, Xbox. Hey.
Oh man,
we bought up all these companies with all these IPs. Okay, what did he sell? Ooh,
sell? Question mark. Games?
Ooh. No, we decided to put it all in a one-stop shop for $10 a month and then divvy that money out accordingly, which means nobody gets fucking anything. Because we haven't even got enough consoles out there. And if everyone had a console and had an Xbox Pass, that would still not be enough.
Nope. Sure wouldn't.
They turned themselves into a streaming service to Xbox.
Yeah, that Game Pass, I could have told them, look, I like to think I know a little bit or a lot of bit about business. I'm not going to pretend like I know everything, but I think I could have told
nothing. Nothing. But when I heard about the Xbox Pass, I was like, how
There's
the
no
fuck
way.
are they making money?
There's no way they can make money off of that.
How?
I don't care how much
are the companies
people
getting
like
money?
It. Nobody's making you don't need to be an economist to just look at that model and be like, there's no way they're going to be able to make money on that. It's impossible. They have set themselves up for failure. There's no way that they can make, but maybe there is some business guy over there vice president of bullshit.
Yeah.
Told them like, oh, this is the way of the future or something. And they all banked on the same shit, and now they're all losing money. But this is the problem, though, Ash. Even if they try to revert back, more unique to like the other, like, let's say movie and film and entertainment, film and like movie industry, okay? Or film and TV shows. Even if they revert back, let's say if they had a direct replica of things that they were doing in the 2010s, it's not good enough. It's
no, because the return the companies do.
Yes, it's not good. It doesn't. So effectively, it doesn't matter. Not saying that to be a doomer. I'm just saying that because that's what I'm seeing. It doesn't matter, bro.
We've had Iger say consistently for years now, we're gonna stop the sequels. We're gonna focus more on original. We're gonna focus more on quality, not quantity. Says this, doesn't do it.
Jack shit.
Doesn't do it at all. Still spews out a million pieces of shit. Oh, the only reason why people aren't watching Marvel is we're doing too much of it. So what we're going to do is produce the exact same amount that we're doing now. That'll change it. Oh, yeah. And that's dog shit. Because we got fucking Agatha fucking Harkness.
Which is now the final title is All Along.
It was Agatha Agatha All Along. What a fucking original title. Go fuck off. Next year, 2025, we're going to have Ironheart, which has already been finished for a year and a half.
3 years that that thing's been done. So
it's going to be 2.5 fucking years at least. Since that was finished before that comes out, that's going to be dog shit. We got Captain Black Falcon American Man on his third reshoot, and the third reshoot's reshooting the whole fucking film.
Well, the budget on that movie has to be fucking insane, bro. Would not at all be surprised if that ends up becoming one of the most, if not the most expensive film in the Marvel Universe so far, because of how many times they've reshot it.
Because it's got to, I bet you it had a budget of at least $250 to start with.
That's the first iteration of it.
Yeah.
The first iteration probably was $250 million, right? Yep. So now we're including two additional reshoots. Yeah. One seeming to be like they're fundamentally changing the fucking movie, which to me, I take that as they're basically reshooting the whole entire film. So
because they are. Because they are.
So what are we thinking?
Because they put a screener out internally, and people said this is fucking dog shit.
So what are we thinking? 400 to 500, maybe?
It's got to be 400. It's got to be around 400. You can't fucking shoot a whole freaking movie.
Yeah.
No, well, okay. Actually, I'll rephrase that because. With Joaquin Phoenix and Joker movie, which had a budget of around $55 million, he wasn't happy with a lot of his stuff, so they reshot, take after take after take until he was happy with what they got. Okay, that takes a lot of things. They still kept it within 50 million, 55 million.
Yeah.
The Marvel way, we're going to reshoot this scene. Okay, let's get 58,000 fucking producers. Let's get these people in here. Fucking money laundering campaigns.
Sure
fucking money laundering.
Catering for the caterers.
Yeah.
So the caterers is going to come in. They're going to cater for all y'all. Then we're going to bring in another caterer for the guys that have been catering. You guys. And we're going to make sure we spend a lot of money on that shit. We're going to have probably 6 executive producers, 18 regular producers, and they will all have there'll be assistant producers, obviously, right? So all the 18 will probably have 2 assistant producers under them. We're going to spend an exorbitant amount of money on a bunch of technology that we're probably not even going to really utilize properly. CG, we'll make sure CGI is going to check out. Going to spend somehow a lot of money on that, and I'm going to require you guys I need it all turned in tomorrow, the entire film. So we're going to have you crunching. So yeah, that's probably 400 $500 million that they're going to spend on that film.
And it's going to bomb.
And it probably won't make
because it's not
$500 million.
Captain America.
Yeah, nobody wants to see it.
Nobody wants to see that shit. Nobody wants it. Nobody watched the fucking dude. Nobody watched the TV show.
Do better, Senator.
Why are they going to go to the fucking cinema? They didn't even watch it on your shitty streaming service. One of the lowest viewed fucking shows that you did. Which, by the way, keeps getting broken every time you put out a new show.
That's quite remarkable, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like a new floor is created.
You know, it's amazing failure. Yeah, fucking stick it on the silver screen. Okay. No wonder people are laundering fucking money left, right, and center. They know it's not going to make anything, so like, quick squeeze.
So they're trying to get the loot, bro. They're trying to get the loot.
I gotta get the bag. Gotta get the bag before they go. Oh shit, we're gonna have to close all this shit down.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Studios are gonna have to go. But see, that's my thing. And I think this is the part that gets lost in the conversation. You know, I see normie like gamers talk about the games industry and, well, so-and-so sucks, so-and-so place closed down and all that. And I'm like, yeah, that's all true and that's all fine and dandy. But what I think needs to be discussed is what we've been discussing here on the show is what's next. What does the future look like? What does it like? Again, I'm not pretending like I got all the fucking answers. I'm just saying, are they prepared for it to look a lot different? I am.
I think the future's looking. You got to look at independent film.
I think you're right, Ash. But they don't want that, right? Like
no, because independent films are not going to bring in the perceived bums on seats, but bums on seats aren't happening. Full stop.
Yeah,
it's a rarity now.
Right.
You had Ryan Gosling just had a monumental smash hit with Barbie. Best thing about that film by a country mile.
What good did it do?
Nothing. The poor guy fell flat. Good film, but fell flat because
not good enough.
So no offense, and I don't mean any offense to the guy because I think Ryan Gosling's great in comedy. I think he really suits that. Ryan Gosling is not bringing bums on seats. Christopher Nolan brought bums on seats because people still ride high on the new Christopher Nolan.
He's like maybe one of the few guys that I think people are going to give the benefit of the doubt. Like we've talked about how they're not rock stars anymore. There's not really movie stars that can like that. They're like, okay, people are going to see films for them anymore. I think there was a lot of frauds, and I'm not using fraud in a like kind of derogatory term. I'm not trying to diss them. I'm just saying like, yeah. I don't even know his name, and he almost called him Steve Rogers, Chris Evans. Hey, he's Captain America. Everybody loves him. He's big. He's like one of the biggest actors in the world. Hey, we're gonna put him on this Buzz Lightyear movie. How'd that do?
Not so good. Yeah. And that spy movie where he played the cock boy.
I almost forgot about that. How did that do? Yeah. So I just personally think there's going to be some changes that a lot of people aren't worried about. And I also believe, I wonder if you'd agree with me on this. I also think that's why a lot of these, the access media types, industry types, lash out in the way that they do. Because a lot of people made money and have historically made money from the actors on down with the status quo being the way that it has been historically. But as people are watching their industry go in the fucking tank, right? And which is going to force people to have to adjust, you realize that if you are part of the status quo, your spot is not guaranteed on the other side, especially if you've been getting by or reaping the benefit of, because, you know, when you're dealing with multi-billion-dollar corporations, they have a tendency, it's like with COVID, if you guys remember, right? And the tech companies, right? You have this day in the life of a tech whatever, right? And they work for Google or some shit, and they're taking a video of them like basically dicking around the entire day.
Oh,
right.
So I got up at like 10 a.m. And then I had a mocha chocolate at the all-inclusive restaurant within the company. I then sat down and had cucumber massage on my face until 12. Went into a meeting with Jim in the pod. We had these set of sandwiches. Fire them! Fire them all! They're wasting your money!
Yes, they are. Yeah, but that's what I'm talking about. Like, you have the benefit of working for these multi-billion-dollar companies, because for a while there they were kind of fluffed up and they were tricking people into believing that they were a lot more successful, and you were almost suffering from success. Right now, when rubber starts to meet the road, budgets like get a little tighter, we've been losing a little too much, some of y'all got to get the fuck up out of here. The point that I'm making is that those types, what value do they serve? None. So on the other side, if it changes, let's say if I am an independent studio, am I looking to hire Phoebe fucking Waller to, man, that also happened since Tomb Raider, shout out. Am I looking to hire? But no, on a serious note, if I'm an independent filmmaker,
No, they rehired her.
Yeah, they rehired her. I know.
They hired her for 20 million.
Yeah,
did nothing with her. She
know.
got 20 fucking million for doing nothing, and then it went, actually, yeah, we are going to go ahead with this Tomb Raider TV show. Here's another fucking 20 million.
So yeah, they got problems. But on a serious note, if I'm like a true independent, where basically anything that I release is, make a break, because you don't have the benefit of losing that amount of money. So it's like you do something, the goal is to make a return.
Yeah.
Do I go hire the person that's dicked around and doesn't really know anything, or do I hire the person that was brought in because there was box checking for this previously massive company, and they had this program where you needed to have this quota of certain types of individuals that were in the fucking company working X type of job, so they weren't really hired on merit. Do I hire that person? No. If I'm dealing with my own money and I know that every dollar counts, no, I don't bring in someone that I don't think is going to aid me in it. So I think to go back to my original point, this is why I think that there's a lot of backlash and like just general lashing out from the establishment. And when I say establishment, I'm not just meaning just like the talking head, like for this, like Amazon, right? I'm talking about guys that have benefited from the old status quo and see really no true alternative for that. I think they're scared shitless. I'm just gonna put it to you bluntly. Like, I think a lot of these motherfuckers know the writing's on the wall, and there's no spot for them.
Do you know what a really easy job is? A really easy job. Writing about video games.
That is true.
If you like video games, if you're a gamer, that is the easiest job in the fucking world. You get to play video games. You get to talk about those video games, give your opinion on these video games, say to people, recommend, don't recommend, pros, cons. That's a fucking great job. That's an easy fucking, and I get paid for that? Yes, please. Easy as pie. When you don't like video games, when you don't want to play video games, then suddenly it doesn't become an easy job because you don't want to fucking do it. So that's where you get into that mess, because these people have been brought on by these massive corporations, Vice, blah, blah, blah.
They're not into this shit. They're not into whatever they're even talking about.
No, because they've all been brought on for an ideological reason. It's all been fucking filtered in through ideology and not the love of the industries. Those absolute fucking retarded women that got themselves fired because they showed off exactly how little they fucking did for a corporation.
Yeah, that was crazy.
How
seeing those
videos
was crazy, bro. That was a crazy thing to watch.
It was insane. And the thing was, they did it to show off.
Yeah.
They did it to say, I'm better than you.
No.
Because I've got this big old, I got sugar daddy, as we like to refer to it.
That's what they are.
Sugar daddy. Sugar daddy pays me, and I come in and I do a couple of meetings, and I sit down in a fucking room with some headphones on and meditate. Then I go for yoga downstairs in room 3B, and then I go to the fucking restaurant and scroll through the fucking Wagyu selection, and they just showed the utter waste of money in that corporation. Not just the waste of money on that person, but the waste of money in the excess that those companies were doing to get what? Nothing out of them.
Nothing. There's no return on that. No return on any investment that you've made on that employee. They serve zero purpose. It's just
Twitter.
Yeah.
What does Elon do? Fires 85% of the fucking staff.
Company
has it
operating.
changed? It's pretty much the same.
No, company didn't die. It's funny. I remember making a bet with a guy about it, which he never paid out. he was very sure that like Twitter was going to like go down at one point because all the people. And I was like, bro, no, they're not. And it never went down.
It was a win-win. Either way.
Yeah.
But Elon went in, sacked 85% of the staff, still operated the same way it did before. What does that tell you about the absolute bloat?
Mm-hmm.
Now we know why they had certain people in there and what those certain people were paid to do.
Yeah, Twitter
because it was a fucking disinformation factory. Was Twitter paid for by government and corporation?
Yeah, that's a factual thing. Twitter files revealed all of that.
All of it, all on the Twitter files, every fucking thing, all the collusion, all they embed with government, corporation, misinformation, censoring, all of that, all revealed. 85% gone. Those women that did those videos, where are they? They got fired.
Yeah,
they all got fucking laid off because they went, why are we wasting this money on these fucking useless bints?
Yeah.
And they'll go to another company that will have the same philosophy until that company gets rid of them. But have you noticed, Eric, we don't tend to get those videos anymore.
No, that's a good point. You don't see a lot of those anymore.
No. Wonder why.
Definitely in those tech companies. You don't see a whole lot of, hey, this is a day in the life. Because, yeah, when you're actually working, right, you don't really got time to be doing all that shit anyway. And it doesn't look that sexy when it's like, hey, here's a day in the life of me actually doing my fucking job. I mean,
well, it's look,
when you have a job, it's gonna be boring.
If like say I blow glass for a living, I'm going into my glass blowing studio, and I'm a day in the life, and you're also like, okay, this is quite interesting. Seeing some fucking bloody mid fucking bint straight out of university that's had everything paid for by mummy and daddy. That's got themselves into tech for no experience, no life experience, nothing. Essentially just reveling and, oh my God, look at everything that I have access to that you don't, you little person.
Cafeterias are all expensive paid.
Yeah, the sugar daddy tech company, they look after me. Okay. You're fired. What? You're fired.
See you. And there's going to be more of that because this is the thing. And going back to our point, okay, they move to the next company and that same thing happens. You know, these guys are going to be the first ones to go, especially as we've seen. There's been people that have been mad. They see with the bigger companies, the first jobs that tend to get fired are the ones that are surrounding like DEI, because they're fake jobs in the first place. And when you start to realize that, okay, we don't have a lot of money to go around, we need to start getting rid of cats. You get rid of the guys that you don't necessarily need for your company to function. So just hypothetically speaking, the person that got fired from previous fake ass job goes to another one to apply for, gets fired for that one, and then gets fired from, you see what I'm saying? When the industry starts to fundamentally change, right? Because everybody's downscaling, people are doing these layoffs, that everybody's trying to slim up. And definitely as the market sort of figures itself out and people are getting far more slim and the how these companies make money starts to fundamentally change. Again, not sure if there's a spot for that person. So when you are part of the establishment, or you've benefited from the status quo being the way that it has been, I think that's partially why these guys lash out, because what do you have left? Because, you know, it's like a guy watching his death. I mean, to be like dark about it, but that's essentially what these guys are looking at. They don't provide any sort of value. And I think deep down, they know they don't provide any fucking value really at all. So if the industry start to change, or if not even if they start, let's say the industry is changing and there's no longer a demand for whatever fake ass service that you were providing, that's going to freak you out. Because a lot of these people ain't built like generations past, because generations past would have been like, yeah, I guess I got to find something new to do. Got to provide some sort of value to the marketplace. So maybe I need to go learn a new skill. These guys aren't wired the way that they are. They're not. They're like not the way years past. They look at it like, I mean, how many videos have you seen of some college days chick or just, hey, I got 2 degrees from so-and-so and I can't find a fucking job. Because your degree's fake, number one. Yeah. And there's no demand for you.
There's no value in them.
None.
There's zero value. You've got a gender studies degree. Yeah? And you've got a degree in, I don't know, fucking LGBT flags.
Yeah.
I've got 2 degrees. Why can't I get I got a psychology degree and I got a gender studies degree. Really? Fucking hell. Do you know what you could do? Get to the back of the fucking queue.
Yeah.
So what do you want to do? I don't know. I was thinking like something in tech or something. Why? What the fuck is a gender studies degree and a fucking psychology degree got to do with shit? It's a degree. I got told if I went to university and got a degree, then I would just get a job. Learn a trade, bitch!
Yeah, that's what you should do. But that's the thing. They're not built like that. So I think they act like the Alyssa Mercantes or whatever of the world, and they lash out.
Well, that's because she's a prostitute. You just got industries full of sex workers. Whores. T. Franklin. Suck dick for a living.
This isn't inaccurate, guys.
I suck dick for a living.
This is not chat. He's not just saying that. They have themselves bragged about
sucking dick for money. So why are these industries full of fucking whores? Right. So you'd like to write for DC Comics? Great. What experience do you have? I suck dick for money. Sorry? Yeah, I'm a prostitute. I'm a black disabled woman. You got a job. You got a job. Get to the front of the queue.
You got whoever you who do you want? You want Harley Quinn? She's yours. You want
done.
Fucking Poison Ivy? She's yours.
Yeah, fucking get them all and get Vixen and just get them.
Vixen, you want Vixen? Yeah. You want Selena Kyle? You can have her.
She's flicking a bean, probably. You know, that's what it is. Melissa DeConte. What have you done, Melissa? What have you done that qualifies you to be a senior editor at Kotaku? I fucked people for money. I'm a prostitute. Why are they in these industries? Why?
I don't fucking know, man.
Have I got to go out and fucking take somebody got the wrong one on the street corner? And then I go phone up fucking Marvel. Hey, Marvel, looking for a job. I just took a dick up the ass last night. Got paid. Why are they there? And we're arguing with these fucking window lickers on Twitter? You're worthless. You got no value. The reason why you are the way you are is because you fucking hate yourself. That's why you are the way you are. That's why you lash out. You fucking despise who you are. And guess what? So do fucking we. Because we see what you are.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's pretty bad. But like, dudes, that's why I said it might get worse. For sure. Before it gets better.
What are we going to do? Just turn DC brothel?
Do they have a month? Sure.
It's called June. What's up, ladies? buy a Yaira book. Pin comment in the chat. Let's get 1.4 million going. You boy.
Yeah, it's they're gonna keep lashing out, man, and don't be surprised when you start to see people, because you remember, I can't remember that fucking content. What is his name? He's a guy, he's always bumping gums about games, and you are seeing, when you would see, like, let's say a company, this is how you know how crazy things are. When you would see, like, what happened with Helldivers as an example, and let's say that there is a bad idea that is implemented, and let's say because of feedback from the customers, there's some sort of alteration, there's a change there. You have content creators, streamers, access media types actually upset that customers got what they want.
Yeah, because they hate customers.
That's the point.
They hate gamers. They hate gamers because they hate gaming. They hate men. They're like, it's full of misandry. Yeah, of course they do. We've said it before. We'll say it again. There is nothing more upsetting to a games journalist than a happy gamer.
Well,
look at the fucking craziness around Stellar Blade, for God's sake.
Yeah, that says it all. But I do think those types of actions you're going to see from, and you better be prepared. Like, if you're independent, I speak from experience. You're going to get a lot of folks that still want to protect the status quo, that are going to try to delegitimize your efforts and lash out at you because they see kind of the writing on the wall. And the writing on the wall states that there's no room for you anymore, bro. Unless you make an adjustment, which most valuable people that want to be of value in the market, that's what they do. Especially like men. They're like, you just do what you got to do. It's like, okay, I was doing something, maybe it wasn't working out at the time, you kind of making adjustments. A lot of these guys are so stuck in their ways. Definitely, if they've been doing it for a while, they've been getting access. Media has been able to get the access they've had for a while. So should they not be able to dictate, which is really all they've been trying to do, right? They've been just trying to use their power to dictate kind of the direction of the industry.
Because it makes them feel like they have some power.
Yeah.
Because it's something they never have had in life.
Yeah.
And they have the mentality, they're not wired properly, they're very selfish, narcissistical people. So when they do get that taste of power, they want to abuse it. So the abuse of power. So getting that access to them is a position of power, and they want to keep hold of that perceived power. That's that way they always pander to the corporation, and they don't do what they should be doing, which is actually being fair to the customer.
Mm-hmm.
So if the corporation is saying to them, these fucking customers, God, they they just don't know what they want, or they do this, that, and then they're there lapping at yeah. And then they go to the little keyboards and go, fucking cunt, you don't know what you want. You're so fucking toe the line. Oh, I saw that article you did. Oh, you were good on that. Hey, we're having an event of the new game. Come along, come along. Yeah, that'd be great. Perceive power.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, they're losing all their customers because their customer is actually the end user of the video game.
That's who matters. And that can be said for anything. Video games, movies, comics, goddammit, anything. Like, that's who matters. And that's whose perspective matters. But because of this artificial industries, or these artificial entertainment industries that we have seen be propped up, they believe that they dictate what the customers should want.
Mm-hmm.
When it's not, it's really never been the case, but they like the idea of that, right? So as it becomes more and more obvious, expect these folks to get dirty. We talked about it last show. These motherfuckers, and this was an actual game developer, these motherfuckers are so mad that they want to track down your mama.
Oh, yeah. And kill her.
String her up. That's what he said.
String her up. That's kill.
That's what I take that as.
Hang them. Yeah.
That's what I take it as. String them up.
I checked his account yesterday. He was still protected as of yesterday, by the way.
Okay. You see what I'm
Mark
saying?
Grum's took that out of context. Yeah.
Yeah, oh, it's just a joke as it's accountability.
Mark Grums.
Yeah. It's just a joke, man. Just
That's out of context. I mean, when I said string them up, I meant take them out for tea and have a civilized conversation with them.
Just jokes.
That's what I meant when I said string them up. When I said track them down, and track down their mothers and family and string them up. That's what I meant. Make go out for tea.
Mothers and others, man.
Yeah, civilized conversation. That's what I meant. Why you take them out of context, bigot?
Yeah. Just jokes anyway, man. But yeah, expect
them it's just jokes.
Yeah, expect them to lash out even more. Expect them to be more anti-customer because that just can't feel good. And look, if you do have aspirations to go do great things, there's no better time than now. That's my honest opinion. You're having customers be more, because I think this was the big hurdle before. The big hurdle, if you were not part of the mega corporate structure, the organization, the team, they just had a way of doing things. Very rarely were you ever given the benefit of the doubt. And very rarely, because people had become so accustomed to that legacy, very rarely would they go give you a shot if you were like detached from them. I think those days have changed. People are now willing to give the single A title a look, to give the double A title a look, to give the independent comic creator a look, to give the independent film creator a look. And it's the awesome thing is you don't even have to look that far if you're a part of like our little corner of the internet. Pretty much everything that I have named has a success or building a success in it. You have what guys like that are in our space that have what they've done with comics. Not obviously, it's not even unique with the reverse. You have your Razor Fist, what they're doing with Ghost of the Badlands, with that how much success they've seen there. You've seen what's happening with even our man's Critical Drinker and what he's doing with his own stuff with making the short film, right? You saw the trailer, fucking loved it, did a reaction to it and everything. And I don't even do those anymore. You're seeing that. So you're seeing people be competitive, but not even just that. It's that people are willing to consider it now. Before in years past, they would have never given it a shot. Now they're like, yeah, I'll go listen to that guy, that underground artist. I'll go listen to this. I go jam this. I'll go watch that film. I'll go read that comic book. So it's no better time to create than now. But do understand, there are folks quite literally clinging on to their careers. So they're going to get ugly before they're just, completely toned out. Best believe they're going to fight like absolute hell for the industry and its legacy.
They can't.
It's a losing battle,
because it's Sugar Daddy that looks after everything. And when Sugar Daddy goes, you go.
You go too.
There is no fight. You can't fight. We can fight.
Yeah.
We can fight because we're the customer. We don't actually have anything to lose.
True.
We have the money. That money can go elsewhere. We have the say. We have the sway. If enough people do it, they don't. Because the moment Sugar Daddy says, you're gone, it gets shut down. It's done. Where are you going to go now?
See, I think that was why the illusion, like with the comic book industry for a while there, with the whole, comics have never been better. That delusion was there because they I guess they want to believe it as. Maybe it's psychological.
No, it's all gaslighting when we do it. They got to say it so that Sugar Daddy's not paying attention. Like community managers. Yeah, I've been telling customers to fuck off for years, but then when they report back to the company, it's fine. It's just
everything's gravy.
A couple of vocal voices. Other than that, it's fine. Everything's fine. It's fine. Jesus Christ, you said the bottom line. Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah.
Self-preservation. It's all
That's
self-serving.
the perfect term I was looking for. Self-preservation is what they do, which is why I'm saying that they're lashing out, and why they will continue to lash out. So just also be prepared. And I don't say that to discourage anybody from doing things independent. You know, I spoke about this story before, and not to kind of bring everybody down, but you know, we had a person that joined the fan art contest that joined our fan art contest that ended up backing out of the fan art contest because there were ugly people essentially upset at them, because obviously they're doing stuff with us, and they didn't want to really be a part of that. So this is I bring that up to just say that you're going to have to encounter that type of gay shit, where it's people are going to be mad that you exist, especially if they have been benefiting from the status quo. They're going to be angry. Tune them out, keep going, be great, see success, because the shit can't last forever. And I think we're seeing that. So they can sit up here and scream like, hey, I've been part of the establishment. I've been around for so-and-so. I've been doing articles for these companies that some of which are closed down. My bylines all say Vice and Kotaku and Geo Media shit that's probably not going to be around next week. Who cares?
Are you gonna cry if when Kotaku goes out of business? No one's gonna care. No one's gonna care.
Who cares?
It doesn't. They don't bring anything to the industry. There's no value, and I'm not just talking fiscal value. There's no value in that. They got mad when they were told to do game reviews.
Yeah, to actually do guides, which will require you to know the game that you're playing, which will require you to play the fucking game,
which is potential evergreen content because it's a guide, and they need evergreen content, but they're not. They're getting reactionary, activist shit, and they're just churning out the same old hate bait because that's the only way that they feel they can get people to click onto their site.
Did you see that? I forget who did it. It's old. I think it was with Vice. It was a meme basically, or a skit, and he basically, it's like, hey, this is how day in the life of a Vice writer. I'm pretty sure it was Vice. It might have been one of the other Vox or whatever the fuck. And he like quite literally grabs a dildo and was throwing the shit at the wall, right, to try to figure out what the article was going to be. So he threw it, and it would say like poor country Venezuela, and he threw it again, and then it said it landed on transgender, and then it said, and then he threw it again, and it landed on a subject, and that was the title.
Was that Ryan? Was that Ryan Long?
I don't think it was Ryan. I don't think it was him.
Okay.
He might have did something similar, but it wasn't Ryan Long. And basically, the article came out, and the article was like, meet the Venezuelan transgendered whatever.
Yeah. I'm sure I've seen this.
Yeah,
I'm sure I've seen this. Yeah.
That's more or less what they do. Right? It's not real shit that anybody cares about. It's stuff that's meant to sort of, I mean, they're ideologues, right? So it's meant to kind of push their social preferences, I guess, if you want to call them that, at best, and they're just using the platform as a means to do it. That's it. They don't really give a fuck about what the fuck's happening to Venezuela. I can guarantee you that. But that's an example. Just like Kotaku, probably senior editor, doesn't really care about games.
No, she's literally just trying to craft something for herself before she's either fired or Kotaku goes out of business. She's reveling in the attention of being vile scum. But that's it. But she is. And she knows she is. She knows she's vile scum. She knows she's being vile. But that's what she wants. It's getting her attention. It's the narcissist in her. She doesn't care what type of attention she gets. She just wants that attention. Because when Kotaku's gone, she's hoping that attention is going to launch something for her. The next, do Do a little bit like Frosk or something like that. The thing is, no.
There's no other side.
You'd be gone in irrelevancy.
What happened to Don Lemon? Have you seen his views on YouTube?
I think he sucked a dick.
Well, he's done a lot of that, pretty admittedly. But he leaves Twitter, right? And now he's on YouTube and he's getting way less views than we do. Because nobody cares. You're not a draw.
Why would exactly. She's not the draw.
She's not the draw.
It's the drama that's gone alongside it. Once she's cut free from Kotaku for whichever reason, fired or out of business, then that will die because she's not the draw to then generate that hate thing. I'm going to do a hit piece on Melanie Mack or whoever. It's going to fall flat. Nobody's going to care. But there again, they're not even going to care if you stick on Kotaku. They're not even going to shit because nobody reads that shit.
But for a while, nobody does read that shit. But there was once upon a time where people did, just like there was once upon a time that people actually were actively reading a lot of the books that were coming out as well. I was one of them, right? There was once upon a time that was the case, but that's the reality that a lot of these guys are facing is that, well, that once upon a time is a once upon a time. And
I would buy Edge. I would buy Games TM. I would buy official PlayStation magazine. I would probably buy
Game Pros
and another PlayStation-esque magazine. I would probably get about 4 gaming magazines a month during the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Now, I haven't even bought a games magazine in fucking 10 years or so. And it's not just because of the access of the internet, because it was actually nice to get a games magazine and read it and, see what the articles were and kind of go through all that. That was actually quite cool. There's something, as we all know from being a lover of comics, there's something about the physical that the digital can just never reproduce.
Yeah, that's why the comic book industry is been reluctant, and it should have been reluctant because the data is showing that it's just not a digital industry. Not like that. People will go not of buyers. That's true. That's true. As I was talking about earlier, just being good or having something that's appealing is not good enough. Is it appealing enough for them to reach in their pockets and buy some shit? Oof. And a lot of this stuff isn't. And they're going to be mad at the people that look. If you're independent, they're going to be especially mad at you. Much like they kind of got mad at some of these independents that are the Power Worlds of the world. They're going to be mad at you because you are proving what they said could not happen or should not happen. You're a competitive person, not going through what they deem as the proper channels to go see success. These guys feel like they own whatever industry that we've named. They feel like they own it. There it is. This is what we were talking about. It's a fucking hilarious fuck. Look at the soy. You see the soy? So good, man. So fucking good.
Oh, it's just stuck on the wall. It's fucking great. That was really good. I'm gonna give that a thumb up. 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Never has it been more relevant.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, so good, man. So fucking good. But yeah, like these guys are gonna stop being around. They're gonna get cut off by their sugar daddies because sugar daddies like this is not fucking worth it. I'm not seeing a return on this. And we're gonna see what the fuck happens.
Yes, that was done fast.
Yes, it was dead fast. But it's gonna get ugly. And I don't quite have the answer for. It's like with comic book shops. I had to face this reality as not too long ago that if you are a comic book shop owner,
you've got to sell comics.
What?
You got to sell things.
You got to sell comics like, and because the industry is in the state that it is in, I don't know what your place is on the other side, because we have seen in the last couple of years, we've seen comic book shops that have been around for a very long time go away. The ones that do exist are having to sell things that are not just comic books. They're selling tabletop shit. They're selling Magic cards and Pokemon cards and Funko Pops and statues and other shit that aren't actually part of the publication stuff. So if you are a company, or excuse me, a comic book shop that is trying to exist in comics, new ones, modern comics, are your primary seller, do you think, I don't know how that can exist? Maybe off of old shit, back issue stuff, but I'm saying like modern, new comics. I don't really know the answer for what's the spot that they have anymore, because this is my point. Now, I can't remember if I've made this point on our show. I know I've made it on mine. The difference between today's day and age and the previous generations is that oftentimes we were going to the comic book shop not for back issues, but for new stuff. We were going there, and that's how we were finding out about it. We were browsing it. It was the newsstand, right? We're telling you what comics were going to be out. Whereas to now, because of the internet, even before I left, I already knew what the fuck I was getting. So I'm going there, I'm picking up my shit. If I was browsing, I was browsing for back issues.
Yeah.
Right? If I wasn't going there like, what's on the shelf? Like we used to way back in the Gap. So the only thing really, unless I'm missing something, the main benefit outside of nostalgia that the comic book shop, if they're just selling, if their primary sale is modern comics, is, well, the customer has a way they can get the book without having to pay like shipping or some shit. But they're not going for discovery. They already know what books they're going to get. They're not going for the like experience. I don't think people are just hanging out at the bitch anymore. Not like that. There's no culture really around it like that, where, you might go, you'll be hanging out, and there's some bros that'll come in and y'all talking shit. It's not really a thing as much anymore. So what the fuck are they there for? Right? If the industry isn't like thriving on modern comic, and that's what I'm saying. Like, if comic shops start to dwindle out, or they have to, like, all of them, there will be no comic shops anymore. There will be games shops that are like selling comics. That may be the future. I don't have an answer, but it sucks because it's like, yeah, I grew up on a comic shop, but I don't know, bro. It's a harsh reality, is it not? It's like when you really think about it. Like, because we want to say the industry's nice as well, but you think of like the benefit, right, that we got from it, from the comic shop. It's not the same benefit that people are getting now, because the way people consume media has fundamentally changed.
Well, you're assuming there is a local comic book shop. No,
I'm not. Good point, man. Mine's though. There's none in my city. I live in one of the fastest growing fucking cities in fucking Texas, right north of it. There are no comic shops in my city.
All the ones in my
Not
town,
anymore.
like the nearest town, a few miles away, the nearest town, all closed down. If I want to go into a comic book store, I got to go to Leeds. And in Leeds, you got your Forbidden Planet, which is not a comic book store anymore. There is very little comics in there. There's no fucking back issues in there. It is literally just a manga and merchandise store now. Merchandise, T-shirts, various memorabilia to do with comic book characters. But there's barely any comics now in Forbidden Planet. I went to another Traveling Man. I went to Traveling Man. Exactly the same. trade paperbacks, shitloads of manga, merchandise, barely any fucking new comics. Because new comics aren't selling because they're all fucking shit. And then there was another one that I went to, and they had some back issues, but they were just literally rammed into boxes. No order, no cohesion, no bags. So in a goddamn terrible state. And so I sort of gave up on that, and then I couldn't even be bothered to go to the fourth store because there was just no. And I asked the guy in Forbidden Planet. I said, look, because that was the last one I went into. I said, I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm looking for back issues. I want to go through back issues. Where's the best place that I can go for back issues? Because and he went, really, the best thing for you to do for back issues is you got to go to a comic book fair. So that's when they come out. He said, but if you're looking in a shop, high street shop now, he said you'll be lucky. You'll be lucky to get back issues. That's fucking Leeds. And Forbidden Planet back in the day, when in the 90s when I first started collecting comics, Forbidden Planet was one of the places that I went to after my market store, which had back issues. I'd go to Forbidden Planet to go through their back issues.
Right.
To see what I could pick up there. And then one of the places I went into, I picked up 2 issues of the Transformer comic. And I put them on a counter and I said, I'll take these, please. And they just immediately said, do you want to set up a pull for it?
Pull list, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, no. Nah. Nah, man. Nah.
That's what
I was heartbroken. And then the only thing else that I nearly picked up, and I would have picked up if they had all 4 issues, but they only had 3 of the 4, was the reprints of Batman Year One, which my mate was with me. And so I was like, oh, if they got all 4 parts, I'll buy this for you, dude. Read it, but they only have 3 of the 4. I ended up not buying it because they only have 3 of the 4. And then I'd be like, I'd be fucking lucky to find the missing part in one of the other stores, and I didn't. So we didn't even bother going back because we didn't even find the missing part in another store to go, oh, let's go back and get the other 3. That's what the state of affairs was. Leeds.
Bro,
this is why you need these. Eric, this to me is why you need these campaigns, because customers are so starved of actually getting stuff.
Some enthusiasm, bro.
Yeah,
because it's just not there, right?
So actually get excited about a comic event.
Right. That's what got lost. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, I don't know, bro, what role the comic book shops, I don't know what role they play in the future. I really don't. I don't have the answer for that, man. I don't know. And I don't know if at all, if any role. But because the only thing, if I'm talking about people, comic book shops selling modern new comics, the only benefit that I see, again, is like, okay, someone doesn't want to pay the shipping. I mean, in this day and age, it's like everybody's buying everything online. Like, people don't really give a shit about that, as much as they had been in the past. So it's like that one thing that you're clinging on to, they're caring about a lot less.
It's got to be an incentive to go.
That's what I'm saying. It's got to be an incentive to go. So you either got to be fucking killing it, or there's an experience. And that's what I think. I did a video a while back talking about like the enthusiasm problem that a lot of the entertainment spots have. I think the comic shops have that as well, because there was once upon a time when you would go and it was like an experience. It wasn't just, you were going, maybe you had a pull list, and maybe you were going to browse, which was part of the experience. Maybe it was, hey, you're going to have a little chat with the people that are there. You're going to talk comics and all that cool stuff. That's not a thing as much as it had been in the past at minimum, or it's just not a thing at all. So I don't really have an answer for how the comic book industry is going to look. Or not I don't have an answer for that. But I especially don't know what role, if any. And I think people need to be ready for that if it does become a situation where the comic shops, if they're around, the comics are like an eighth of their shop. They have to make money doing other things because it's just not enough. It's not enough enthusiasm. It's not enough, which means there's not enough incentive for an actual customer to go there. I think we got to be prepared for a world that looks different like that. Because I look at it like, even though where I was even getting because I fell into that habit as well outside of my pull list. My pull list I was getting from my local comic book shop out of Denton. But my back issues, sometimes I would browse my shop in Denton and get a couple of good nuggets. Like I found this old Captain America comic that I've been trying to fill out my collection for that I remember getting there. But the rest I was getting at mycomicshop.com, which, yeah, they're based out of down the street out there in Arlington, but they're strictly online. Shout out Lone Star Comics. It used to be Lone Star Comics. Now they were actually one of the first. This is why mycomicshop.com is so big, because they were one of the first ones, you know, that realized where the industry was going, and they were like, we're moving digital, baby. So we'll sell new comics, but you got to get the bitches online. So I think that's just what it's going to look like in the future.
Yeah. Outside of crowdfunded comics, the vast majority of my money that I spend on comics, and by vast majority, we're talking 99 point something percent, is at my back issue site that I go to.
Don't y'all have one that's pretty good out of the UK?
We got one called Silverback, and they literally just have like huge warehouse, huge warehouse of back issues.
Yeah,
very, very, very extensive catalog, and it's just nice to go to log on there,
log on, browse,
and just go browse, and you just put a fuckload of back issues. You spend a fortune,
my way, baby.
Don't matter. Bring them on. Bring them to me. And you get a big box.
Big ass box.
Yeah.
Sometimes got newspapers and shit in there to try to stuff it.
Fucking.
It's so good. Yeah.
Stop putting shredded paper in it.
Yeah, I know. I've been all of them do it, bro.
It's everywhere.
they all of them do it. I think even Midtown does it. All of them fucking do that shit, man.
Shredded paper.
All of them do it, bro.
Don't use pebbles. Don't use shredded paper. Just
all of them do it, bro. So yeah, like it's crazy, man, when you think about it like that, because you're like, what purpose do the comic shops now serve? Or if not now, in the future, what do they look like a year from now? Maybe more, half of them closed down.
But you have to have it. Yet there has to be an interest in what the market is producing,
and
the
experience of going there. It's like, so you got the double whammy. Yeah, the content itself has to be worthwhile for people to go there, to want to go there, but also the experience has to be there. Because if I'm gonna get in my car, drive down to the comic book shop, get back out of my car, and then walk into an actual store to go buy product, buy comic books, buy whatever. Yeah, the lead incentive to get me there is something that I want. But like in the same respects, if it's just something that I want, I also can go to mycomicshop.com and to order it, and it'll be here, and I don't even have to think about it. Right?
You can buy Warhammer stuff from Warhammer website.
Yeah.
Or you can go to your local Warhammer store where you can have the interaction of people painting. They're sat there in the shop.
That's the enthusiasm, bro.
They're sat there in the shop and they're playing.
Yeah.
So there is a social interactive aspect of the Warhammer.
That's the incentive.
To take you away from the website, go into your local store and say, oh, hey, they see these guys are painting. Do you do? Oh, yeah, we actually have paint nights on this night. Or you can just come in, sit down, and then bring your figures in and start painting away. Or, we've got some guys over there on that table playing a bit of this, playing a bit of that. At least that's something. There's that social element.
Yeah. So you have incentive to go there, right? Like there's some level of enthusiasm or some reason. That's what
If I
Comics
was
don't
to
have
sell
right now.
comics, let's say I had the money, I was gonna sell comics, brick and mortar though. I wouldn't be a comic shop. It would
I mean,
be.
you wouldn't be around that long if it was.
There would be an element of comics for sure.
Yeah.
But I would also have a coffee shop element of it, a gaming element of it, where you could have consoles in cases, and you can rent a game
like a hangout
and sit there, or just hang there as part of getting a drink or whatever. Potentially even a mini cinema that has like old school nerdy films going on. You know, this week we're showing Back to the Future Part 2. You know, next week we're showing Steel with Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah, man.
You know, but there would have to be a social element to bring people in, and by bringing people in, whether or not they're going there for the coffee, whether or not they're going there for the video game stuff, whether or not they're going there for the cinematic stuff or the comic stuff, there is going to be something for people then to see and be like, oh, they do that, or have some arcade machines in there as well.
It's got to be something, bro.
You bring it into an area where there's going to be that social interaction, and one thing might lead to the next thing. Somebody could come in for the comics and stay for the coffee and the video games as well.
Or come in for vice versa. Come in for the coffee, and they're like, oh shit, there's some books over here. Well, I might as well grab a couple.
Oh yeah, I'll read this while I'm drinking my coffee.
Yeah, right.
Have a spinner rack that you can just take comics and sit down and read them, put them back. You know, some are going to get taken, of course they are. But just keep topping it up with some comics. You can pick up back issues for so cheap. Some of them so cheap from the 90s, from the 80s. You just stick them on the spinner rack. They'll stick around for a bit. They'll get battered, whatever. But somebody can there drink the coffee and just not even have the pressure of buying. But that whole interactive element might lead people to that. And you've got your other forms of income that can supplement one or the other.
That's the future. I think if there are to be shops that are trying to exist, be sustainable with comic books in their shop, they have to offer something else, because right now the industry is not in a good enough spot to just sell it. And the how people just consume media, for lack of better terms, is different. And it has to adjust. Every market's had to adjust, to be fair. Like, it's not anything new, right? Every market has had to adjust to the new demands. The increase in technology as well has been a big part of it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think the day is probably just, hey, we're going to be a comic shop that only or primarily focuses on selling modern comics.
Done. You're done already.
Yeah, man, you've already set yourself up for failure.
Mm-hmm.
Just not a lot of money in it, and it's just not good enough. So we'll see what happens. But I think everybody needs to start preparing themselves for a world where, I mean, it ain't even prepare yourself. Just my old shop, because I don't live over there near Deadness like I used to. But my old shop now is like, well, that's a drive for me to get there. But there's not one. There used to be one. There used to be one in my city, south of me. There's not one fucking comic book shop in my city, which is kind of crazy to even envision. I think before I got here, about 4 or 5 years ago, there were 3, if I'm not mistaken. One might have got, the year I got there, left. And Docs, I found out a crazy way they closed on fucking internet. Like, they had posted about it, like, yeah, man, we're out of here. You know, here's a sale, everything's gotta fucking go. And I was like, damn, that's fucking crazy.
Before we go into the soups, let's just briefly touch on a couple of bits of info. Assassin's Creed Japan. Actually, there's a samurai called Yasuke in Japan. So you just like racist and stuff? Well, weren't a samurai. They were a novelty. They didn't do anything. But this is Assassin's Creed. Also, by the way, this actually, I'm racist, and this makes me feel uncomfortable. It's called Assassin's Creed Shadows.
That's what might as well should have called it Assassin's Creed Black.
Black dude. Assassin's Creed Black guy. It feels all of this just feels so tone deaf.
That's a good term to use. Stupid fucking move, man. Because they easily could have adopted the. I guess the Japanese aren't diverse enough, huh?
No, I mean, remember when Ghost of Tsushima came out and it was made by a Western company and games journalists were losing their shit because it was cultural appropriation, and then Japan went, "This game's fucking great.
Yeah,
this game's great and it's really respectful and we love it." And then it went, "Fuck off, Japan! You're not diverse. Where you black people in feudal Japan?" Because they can't keep consistent with their criticisms. And by criticisms, we just mean they just want to burn stuff. They're not critical. They just want to burn shit down.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's fucking crazy. Again, tone deaf move, idiotic, because you could have went one way or the other. Africa also has its rich history of warriors and all kinds of shit. Could have did something, I don't know, Zulu tribes and shit. If you want to do Assassin's Creed, that would have been badass, by the way. Maybe I beat you to the punch, Ubisoft, and I do it my fucking self. But Africa obviously has a very rich history of warriors doing cool shit. Why you chose to half-ass adopt Japanese?
The funny thing is, right? There's a lot of criticism coming from people about this, and they're just like, "You're all racists." And it's funny because the criticism is, why doesn't feudal Japan have Japanese people? You know, that's the criticism. People want consistency, but the West and gaming industry wants that one nugget to be able to run with to create a whole narrative because of DIE.
Do we know if any of those companies that we've covered are consultants?
This is you. I mean, jokes on Ubisoft. I don't buy their shit. So jokes on them. So, I mean, I'm not going to pretend that I'm offended or anything by this, because I'm not. Because I don't buy Ubisoft. I think it's a dog shit company with dog shit people. And more importantly, because sometimes I can actually bypass that if it's a good game. And more importantly, I think every one of their games is generic, boring, and is just the same. So I wouldn't even have bought this anyway. But thematically, it could have interested me. It could have thematically interested me. You're going to have a look at the how this is going down. It is really divided. That is a hefty chunks of dislikes right there. Have they got the comment section on? Yeah, still got the comment section on for the moment. So you can play as this guy, or you can play as stunning and brave assassin girl in feudal Japan.
So you're not gonna play as a Japanese man?
No, you can't play as a in feudal
Japan.
Yeah.
So you can't. The people that
Eric, you're sounding a bit racist. You're sounding a bit racist, Eric. Please stop it. Stop it.
The people that primarily had to do with that era, I can't play as. Is what you're telling me?
Yeah. You can play as Stunning and Brave, or you can play as
Stunning and Brave.
Stunning and Brave.
Those are both the options.
Stunning and Brave Boogaloo.
Oh fucking shit, man.
Okay, so now that we did that one, let's go to the next Stunning and Brave. Where are my bookmarks at? There they are. Can't let you see it in chat. You know what it's full of. You know what it's full of, chat. Stop it. So we've gone from one stunning and brave to this stunning and brave.
Are people born wicked? Or do they?
This is another story about the Wicked Witch of the West. Of course, not being
just like what American Society of Magical Negroes, the sequel.
Oh yeah.
Or is this the prequel?
This is prequel to yeah, but listen to this dialogue, mate. It's really subtle. It's really subtle.
They have.
She means black. Because this is about as subtle as a brick. But
I just want to know how much they spent on it.
It's Disney, so they probably pumped 200 mil in this. I'll find out after this trailer, but it probably wouldn't surprise me.
That's all I'm thinking of. As I'm seeing people floating around, what's going on in my mind? I'm like, how much money did they fucking spend on that shit?
I can't do anything.
Fuck how I feel about it. Like, not even important. How much did they spend on this movie?
Let's have a look. Wicked budget. Let's see if there's anything. 145 million is
okay.
Wait, part one. According to IMDb Pro, Wicked Part 1 has a budget of 145 million, and Part 2 has a budget of 165 million.
So there's going to be a part 2 of what we just saw?
I fucking hope not.
All right, so look, I'm not going to pretend like this shit is made for me. I didn't see. I don't think there's was there any dudes in that?
There was one dude at the beginning.
I saw the goat. Well, I guess that was a dude. He had a dude's voice. I wasn't paying attention. Was there any dudes in that fucking shit that we just saw?
There was one dude. I think there's one dude. He's walking, and the girls were winking at him.
I just saw a fucking goat. Maybe I missed it. Oh, Jeff Goldblum is in it. Okay. You see the goat? Oh, the villain is the dude. Of course.
Well, of course the villain's gonna be the dude.
Well, of course. Okay. Well, obviously, look, it's meant to target chicks. It has the musical element, so they're banking on the chicks coming to show it. So if men don't see it, it won't be our fault.
He's looking like he's, you know.
Oh yeah, there's some dudes in there.
He's gonna take a seat. He's gonna take a seat.
Wait a minute. So is the dude behind? Is that a dude like behind him?
That one.
Yeah. Or is that a chick? Looks like a chick. Wearing a dress, right? What do we think of chat?
Oh. Wait, hold on. Let's see. They're wearing a half and half. They're wearing a half a man and half a woman shit. They got half of a dude and half of a chick.
$140 million, huh? Good luck. That's all I'm gonna say. Just good luck. I guess I already know it's not for me, so there's not much I can say. It's clearly for the chicks.
Yeah,
because they're all looking at him like he's dreamy. So I guess the other dude in the back, there's another dude that's for sure a dude in the back. That's got to be.
Well, I think that dude likes it.
That was him right there. That was him. That's him. That's either a gay dude or a trans. Yeah, it's a gay dude or a trans dude.
He's half. They got half of a half of a man, half of a woman.
Good luck. $140 million. Hope you get a return. What's your box office predictions on this?
Fucked. That's my box office prediction for that. Without lube. Raw.
I can see that. Look, good luck to what's the name of the movie? American Society. What's the?
The movie's called "We Are Burning Money" by Disney.
Okay.
Right. Let's get into some scoopery doopery doopery pooperies because as ever it's to the 2-hour mark. Josh Kelsey dropping a 20 and then walking off. Josh, massive thank you, sir.
He does that a lot. Respect.
Does it a hell of a lot. HTK bass player with a 6-month membership. Thank you. Eugenio Olivencia with a $5 says, glad your bathroom was done as, or nearly just got a little bit of sealing to do, but it's all everything's in. Everything's in. Just need a little bit of sealing. Then they're just gonna, wipe it down, get the shit out. Dude. Fucking sweet. Now you can decorate it with the only thing that brings you joy in life. Overpriced rubber duckies. Yeah, from my ex-girlfriend because she liked childish things. But it is one of the only things. This is the only thing that gives me happiness, brings joy to my life. Yeah. Haddison in New York City with a 20 says, question to both regarding gaming. Do you think another gaming crash is imminent? It's here. If so, what form will it take? For some context, I came in after the original crash. Yes, I'm an old fan.
Look, I do think that, I don't know if that's the proper term. I mean, because, to your point, I think it's here. I do think there's going to be a restructuring.
Yeah.
At minimum. I think that's maybe a more accurate term for it. It's going to be a industry restructuring. And I do think that is not going to be unique to the games industry. You're seeing it in comics and you're going to see it in film as well.
Yeah, I think at the minute, games that are leaning into the ideology are going to fail. We know that The Last of Us Part 2 performed miserably compared to The Last of Us Part 1. Alan Woke 2 hasn't made its money back.
Hey,
Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League lost $200 million. If you're bringing in these ESG scam artists, because that's what they are, scam artists, then you're going to lose money. Smaller companies, AA companies that are just focusing on games that customers can buy, they are going to win. They are going to make bank. And as we discussed earlier, a lot more people leaning into independent companies as well now. Smaller little games. So yeah. Graph Web with a $2 says, for fuck's sake! Cancel Disney Plus. I have.
Already ahead of you, brother.
I doubly cancelled after they put Doctor Who on there. Best name I can think of with a $5 says, we all know that good weather will prevent nerds from watching TV. Nerds are natural outdoors types. Yes. They're prone to going out and socializing as opposed to staying in them. Never mind.
Good point.
Daniel Edmonds with a $10 says, is the losing money considered a good investment if they can make everyone gay or mentally ill? I mean, they're happy that they put messages in. They won't be happy when it gets canceled.
Yeah, because then it's like, well, we can't keep the charade going anymore because we don't have the money to do it.
But with something like Doctor Who, for example, you're paying with the license fee money and Disney money. So it's just like we've got, number one, money that we don't feel that we are accountable for. So we'll do what the fuck we want. And Disney, who, as we all know, are Disney. And yeah. So what do you get? You get that absolute abortion of a show that came out on Saturday that nobody fucking likes. Don't even think gay people like it. Brian Dione with a $2 says, hey, Ripper and Az, can't wait to see you at MegaCon 25.
Shout out.
Shout out. Daniel Edmonds again with a $10 says, born in 83. Can you imagine a $300 million Xenogears? I'd like to. I'd like to very much. But no. CJ with a $5 says the problem with AAA games and Hollywood movies is they are wasting money on useless people like DEI consultants in this economy. Why? Because it's the industries are filtering activists in. They're filtering all these ideologues. They're working all in California, Silicon Valley for the most part, but they're all working in the same area, with the same philosophies, pushing out people with different that think differently than them. So they're just creating exponential echo chambers that don't reflect the actual world.
Yep.
And then they wonder, then they get mad because the actual world's like, do you know what? Can we just have a fucking video game?
Yeah. Easy enough.
Being strong-armed by activists, strong-arming either activists or weak-willed people that I don't want to offend. I'm an ally. Keltrick with a $5 says, we just entered a movie era where people won't watch a movie because of actors. Jenna Ortega and Tom Holland are great examples.
Yeah, we've talked about. There's no movie star like that. Those days are gone. There's nobody that can like just straight up carry a movie.
Hell, even the last Mission Impossible lost money.
Yeah, I brought that up in my video where I was talking about this very topic. Like, it's not good enough. So I was bringing that up with the X-Men. I was talking, it's just not good enough. It doesn't matter. Like, those days are over with. You can't just put a guy in it and it's like, oh yeah, it's gonna do well, even if people like it. Not good enough.
Ryan Gosling, we just saw that with the Fall Guy.
Just saw with Fall Guy, yep.
Gizatron gifting 5 memberships to the stream. Gizatron, thank you. Daniel Edmonds with a 20. As I love your life. One day, people like us will be illegal. I pretty much am already with the laws that are being passed in the fucking UK, particularly West Yorkshire. Bloody hell. Wait, you're a Canadian felon already? Naughty words. Probably. I'd be arrested if I went to Scotland and said the shit that I say, which isn't remotely controversial. But there you go. Yeah. Guy Incognito gifting 20 memberships to the stream. Guy, thank you. Matt Husiv. That's a hundo.
Yeah.
Dude. Nate the Scott with a membership for 20 says, I laugh so hard reading the comments for the Rings of Power Season 2. Watch you guys roast it was so good too. Much needed levity in a rough time. That's why we're here, mate. We're trying to actually bring some entertainment in this madness that surrounds us.
And madness it is.
Oh, yes, it is. James Watkins with a $10 says, instead of Rings of Power, they could have done an adaptation of the Shannara series by Terry Brooks, where you can have different ethnicities of fantasy tropes because his law allows it. Instead, we get Rings of Power. Dude, it's not about conforming to the logic of law. It's about, excuse me, we're improving this, okay? We're making it diverse. These are the types of people that are producing revisionist history.
Quite literally narcissists.
Aren't you glad there's so many white middle-aged women rooting for you, Eric?
Yeah, man.
I'm
absolutely stoked on it, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. Magna Defender 98 with a $5 says, I met a co-worker who still covers his face. When the fuck are these people ever going to move on? Guys, COVID is over. Grow the fuck up already.
Please, for the love of God.
Can't fix broken sometimes. Sometimes you can't fix broken. Bruce Flash has been a member for 12. Thank you, Bruce. Daniel Edmonds gifting 5 memberships as well to the stream. Daniel, thank you. Big shout out to you, man.
Hell yeah.
Keltrick with a $5 says, I don't mind the female assassin and the black assassin, but it needs a different setting.
Well, I think that's the point that everybody's made.
Yeah, that is fine. In the right context, that's fine. But you know, people are looking for context, and they're not. They're looking for stunning and brave.
Yep.
Samuel Adatan with a $20 says, "Hey Ripper, I know you do art competitions, but have you considered character creation contests? Then you could have the artist complete in drawing the winning character after. Long live the Iron Age. You guys rock."
Not really. I mean, those are interesting kind of concepts. It's just that, you know, you kind of enter into a legal issues, man, having those types of contests. If it was a cut and dry, yeah, but you know, it's essentially a pitch, right? And that's what is the reason why no company does those. Like as far as like pitches, like having them wide open like that it can be a headache, man.
I would also, if I was in Eric's position in a company, I would hope that the people I have hired and pay would be good enough to come up with plenty of ideas for characters.
I like to think I pay them very good money, so we would have problems if I could not get them to do that.
Burb Shid with a to Australian says, "Are there any ice trolls slayed in this movie?" Just like Galadriel did in under 3 seconds. Micro Omega has been a member for 34. Thank you. Defendo 99 with a 5 says, "Wicked is an iconic Broadway musical, so I do think they're appealing to the correct demographic. However, we all remember the live action Cats."
Yeah, I've already conceded that it's not obviously made for with me in mind. Okay,
sure.
I mean,
yeah, I won't be caught dead here.
Good luck. $140 million.
Yeah, I just think, yeah. I mean, dude, we've seen a guy girl.
Good luck.
Good luck. Celtric again with a $5 says, "Remember, all of these gaming studios can't move money like movie studios can. I personally see games adjusting way earlier than TV." I agree. That's why you've seen Square pull out of the death. It sees exactly what the Europe and the West is. You know, America and the UK and Europe. It's the West is dead. It's going to lose them millions and millions of dollars. That's why they've dumped it all. They're going back to Japan. They're regrouping. They're going multi-platform now. They're no longer doing Sony exclusivity. Well, I say look out for what Square Enix is going to do next, because I think they're now going to start really focusing on trying to sell fucking games. It's a great. I love what's happening. Profits are down 70%. They had to stop trading. They had to stop trading on Square because the profits had dropped to.
Fucking crazy, bro.
Woo. That's a company that they got fucked in the ass with the Avengers game, Forspoken. You know, they've been fucked right up the ass with this shit, losing them in excess of hundreds of millions now. I mean, the Avengers game lost them 50 million on its own.
True.
Joe Pineapples with a £5 says, "When is the comic / game / Warhammer / cinema / video game / coffee shop opening? I'd even travel up to Leeds for it. When I'm a millionaire and I can just piss money away." Carl Hauser with a 50. Canadian says, "Hey, Az and Ripper, just saying hi. Az, did you see my last G1 haul I tagged you in?" No, I will check it out though, because I do follow you on Twitter. I did get your email, but I don't have a PO box or anything at the moment, so I don't have anything for you to send anything to. But never say never in the future. But I have got myself a missing link Optimus Prime coming. Vet Gamer Bochafus, maybe. Sorry for butchering your name, dude. But a $5 says, "I think it was Netflix that already tried Shannara." Yes, yeah. It was woke as fuck, butchered the law and the books, and only lasted one season. Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right there.
Mm-hmm.
Been done. And that catches us up. Eric!
Whew.
Is there anything that you'd like to plug before you go? And I think Yaira's done like $1,000 in this show.
Yeah, it has. It has done pretty good. We are less than 5,000 away from $1.4 million.
There you
Thank
go.
you guys so much for that love and support. We appreciate you. Yeah. We're closing this campaign off right. We got a couple of other cool things that we have up our sleeves. Remember that we have the animation that's going to drop on Monday. Appreciate again all the love and support for the single as well. Reverse Anthem. You can also get that new shirt that we put out, that We Will Win shirt. You can grab that. All sorts of cool things that we have for you. So thank you guys so much for that support. This week we'll just be preparing for the animation and all that good stuff. So I'll just be here working.
Pinned in the comment section at the top chat. Go check it out. And for me, in the comments, in the description box down below, your boy, Plushy time. There is literally only 2 and a bit days left, and then the campaign's over. And then they will start going into production for delivery later this year. So if you want to get yourself a real BBC plushie, a me, a Morley, a Gary, or an Exit Girl, check it out in the link in the description box down below. And thank you. I appreciate you, everybody. So there we go. Thank you ever so much, everyone who came to watch today. Mods, thank you so much indeed for giving up your free time. Everybody who super chatted, membered, remembered, gifted memberships. Thank you for supporting the channel. Things are going to go back to normal next week now that my bathroom's done. Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
And until then, you take care. Bye for now.
I appreciate you.